The greatest champions in history were not born with extraordinary talent. They were forged by choice, shaped by discipline, and refined through the relentless pursuit of mastery. This is the story of what separates the world's elite from everyone else, and how anyone can adopt their proven mindset. Most people believe success happens by accident or through sheer luck. They watch champions accept awards and assume that winning came naturally. But the real truth lives in the hours nobody sees. Behind every champion is a story of sacrifice, discipline, and an unshakable belief in their potential. The motivational lessons from history's greatest achievers reveal something profound. Champions are not born, they are built. They emerge not from gyms or from fortunate circumstances, but from something deep inside. A desire that consumes them, a dream that drives them, a vision that becomes their reality. Discipline beats motivation every single time. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes like waves, rising when you feel inspired and disappearing when fatigue sets in. Champions understand this truth deeply, which is why they never rely on motivation alone. Instead, they rely on discipline, the unseen foundation of extraordinary achievement. Consider how the legendary basketball player Kobe Bryant started his day before dawn, arriving at the gym at 4 in the morning while his teammates slept. He did this not because he felt pumped up or inspired. He did it because he had made a commitment to himself that transcended feelings. This is the power of discipline. It is the unwavering decision to show up, even when your mind whispers reasons to stay in bed. Michael Phelps swam nearly 50,000 yards every single week for years. Regardless of how he felt, Michael Jordan arrived before everyone and left after everyone. These patterns reveal a critical lesson. True champions have built routines so strong that they operate independent of motivation. They train on rainy days, on days when progress feels invisible, on days when doubt whispers loudly. The equation is simple, but unforgiving. Discipline is what keeps you moving when motivation fades. Motivation might start your journey, but only discipline carries you across the finish line. The champions who dominate their fields are those who have replaced the question, "Do I feel like it?" with the statement, "I am doing this." That shift in mindset is transformational. They show up not when they are inspired, but because showing up is non-negotiable. Intentional work beats endless effort. Here lies a secret that separates the truly exceptional from the merely hardworking. Not all effort is created equal. Champions do not simply work harder, they work with intention, precision, and purpose. Kobe Bryant would never enter the gym without a specific goal. He arrived with a plan, targeting particular weaknesses, focusing on exact improvements he wanted to achieve. His mantra was clear: hard work without direction is noise. It is effort without impact, motion without progress. This principle has profound implications. Two people can invest the same number of hours, but one will grow exponentially while the other stagnates. The difference lies in intentionality. Champions study their craft like scientists. They break down complex skills into components, isolate weak points, and attack them strategically. When Kobe studied Michael Jordan's fadeaway jump shot, he did not simply copy it. He analyzed every detail: how Jordan created space, the angle of his elbow, the timing of his release. Then he made it his own. This is called deliberate practice, and it is the defining characteristic of how champions transform effort into excellence. The lesson here challenges a common assumption: you do not need to work endlessly to win. You need to work intentionally. Precision beats duration. Strategy beats sacrifice. Focus beats volume. This is the difference between someone who spends 3 hours in the gym making little progress and someone who spends 90 minutes laser-focused on specific improvements. Champions have learned to invest their energy like investors allocate capital, with careful attention to return on investment. Failure is data, not defeat. Every champion has experienced failure, often repeatedly and publicly. The difference between champions and everyone else is not their failure rate. It is their response to failure. They see failure as information, not identity. As feedback, not finality. Michael Jordan missed thousands of shots and lost critical games. Rather than interpreting this as evidence of inadequacy, he treated each miss as data. He asked questions: why did I miss this shot? What did my defender do? How do I adjust? This mindset transforms failure from an ending into a beginning. Kobe Bryant reinforced this principle in his own career. When he airballed 4 shots in the playoffs as a rookie, he did not hide. He did not spiral into shame. He studied the footage, realized his legs lacked the strength required for the NBA season, and changed his entire training program. His response was direct. Face the mistake, learn from it, evolve. Champions have internalized a powerful truth that most people never grasp. Failure is inevitable and valuable. The question is not whether you will fail. The question is what you will do with that failure. Will you use it as an excuse to quit or as fuel to improve? This is the distinction that defines championship character. Everyone fails. Champions just respond to failure differently. Pressure is your greatest teacher. The world watches as champions perform in critical moments. A buzzer beater with the game on the line. A championship final in front of millions. These moments separate champions from everyone else, not because they execute flawlessly, but because they have trained themselves to embrace pressure rather than fear it. Champions understand that pressure is simply a situation where stakes are high and success matters. Rather than running from pressure, they sprint toward it. They practice in pressurized conditions so frequently that when the real moment arrives, their nervous system recognizes it as familiar territory. Serena Williams trained under pressure systematically. Cristiano Ronaldo runs drills that simulate match situations to build comfort in uncomfortable circumstances. They realize that pressure is not something to overcome, it is something to master, and mastery comes through repeated exposure. This transforms how you approach challenges. Instead of avoiding difficult situations, you seek them out. Instead of postponing the hard conversation, you have it now. Instead of waiting for the perfect conditions, you start today. Every time you push through pressure, you become more comfortable with it. Every time you rise in a critical moment, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more. The champions who handle pressure best are not fearless. They are experienced. Their fear has been tempered by thousands of hours of deliberate challenge. Self-belief when nobody else believes. Before Muhammad Ali became the greatest boxer of his generation, he was Cassius Clay, and many doubted him. Before Kobe Bryant won championships, critics said he was arrogant and uncoachable. Before Michael Jordan achieved immortality, people questioned whether he could lead a team to victory. Every single champion faced a moment where their belief in themselves stood alone. They had to believe in their potential when no one else did. This self-belief was not arrogance or delusion. It was a deliberate choice to trust their preparation and their vision. Venus Williams has spoken about this explicitly. Believing in yourself when no one else does is what separates winners from everyone else. This belief becomes your anchor during storms. When results are slow, when progress is invisible, when external validation disappears, your internal belief keeps you moving forward. The champions who endured obstacles and criticism were not emotionally tougher. They simply understood that external validation is irrelevant to their journey. Their focus was internal, on their process, their improvement, their vision. External doubters became irrelevant noise. They made a conscious decision that the opinions of others would not dictate their path. This inner conviction is not confidence built on arrogance. It is confidence built on preparation and proven execution. The champion is inside you. Champions share something that transcends talent, genetics, or circumstance. They have made a decision about who they will be, and they have committed to that decision through disciplined action, intentional effort, and unwavering belief. This decision is not made once and forgotten. It is made every single day, in thousands of small moments where they choose discipline over comfort, effort over ease, growth over stagnation. The motivational lessons from the world's greatest achievers are not reserved for athletic superstars. They apply equally to entrepreneurs, students, parents, and anyone pursuing meaningful goals. The path to championship mentality begins with a single choice. Commit to discipline over motivation, intentional effort over endless work, growth over excuses, pressure over comfort, and self-belief even when surrounded by doubt. These are not abstract ideals. They are practical, daily decisions that compound over months and years into extraordinary results. The greatest champions in history remind us of one final truth: greatness is available to you. It requires nothing but commitment to these principles and the willingness to do what others will not. Your championship begins today, in this moment, with the choice to start building the mindset of a winner. The question is not whether you are capable. The question is whether you are willing. Are you?